I never make decisions based on fear and doubt. And this might be the very most important concept I want to share with you right now. I'm so optimistic that if people were able to read my mind and entertain my thoughts on a daily basis, they would want to check me into a psych ward. Dude, I dream so big. I'm a dreamer, but I'm an action taker. I love this life. I created this life. I went all in for this life. I prayed for this life and I worked my ass off to create this life. I love this life because of the blood, sweat, and tears I put into it, because of the fears I faced, the adversity I overcame, like getting up every day and going after it. I can't let myself live a second as an inferior version of the man that I know I can be. If you can apply one of those traits that I just shared with you, one of those characteristics, you'll have an edge on the world. If you can apply all six, you'll be unstoppable. And that's what I want for you. All right, you guys, I want to share a powerful message with you today. Something that I was thinking about this morning in my reflection. Every morning I get up and I do the same thing. I pray and thank God for another day of life, for a beat in my heart, for legs that work, for the ability to go after my dreams, for my beautiful family. And then I pray for guidance and direction, for thy will to be done, not mine. This is something I've done for the last 13 years. And I've been continuously on that path to pursue my dreams, to become my best self, to inspire others, and literally to carry out the feeling inside of me, the message from above. And I want to share with you 6 reasons that I have an edge on everybody else in society. Everybody else that is checked out, that are jaded, that are living like zombies, that are just in autopilot, I got an advantage on them, because I figured something out, man, that works in life. And I want to share it with you guys. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm not saying that I have stuff that you don't have. I've just figured out a way to think and operate that has massively transformed my life. So there's 6 key distinctions, principles that I want to share with you in this clip that give me an edge or an advantage on the average person, including my past self, who was stuck, who was lost, who was hopeless. And these are 6 things that you can apply to your life right now. Like, you could literally apply these concepts immediately and consistently, and over time, I promise you, it will lead to a better life. So the first one is that I never make decisions based on fear and doubt. And this might be the very most important concept I want to share with you right now. I never make decisions based on fear and doubt. I've trained myself over years and years and years to only make decisions based on who I want to become, the life I want to create. Hard decisions, tough decisions, scary decisions, decisions that get you uncomfortable. That's what leads to growth. And I recognized a long time ago that I had 2 voices inside my head. And no, I'm not crazy. And you could probably relate to me here. There's 2 versions of you right now. There's 2 versions of me. There's 2 versions of everybody. The person inside of you, that voice, that genuine, authentic truth that's calling you to become the best person, to make the hard decisions, commitments, changes, sacrifice, whatever it takes to live the ultimate life. And then there's that other voice. It's doubt. It's fear. It's an insidious, negative, fearful voice inside of you that's going to keep you stuck if you listen to it. Here's the thing. As children, you are living purely and authentically based on that good voice, that conscience, that connection to God, source, purpose, whatever you want to call it. The universe is speaking to you, right? I'm sure right now you can think of a couple things in your life that you've been wanting to change, a couple things that you've been procrastinating on. Whether these are big goals and dreams and visions, or maybe it's something like a breakup or a new job or moving, or there's going to the gym, eating healthier, quitting alcohol, whatever it is. There's always 2 versions of us battling inside each other at any given time. And it's always the person you want to be, and it's like that genuine feeling and thought, but then it's always met with a fearful thought or a doubtful thought or a thought that's going to talk you out of taking action, right? Or it's that voice inside of you that's telling you, hey, sleep in, just party one more time. It's going to be fine. Like, you don't got to get sober now, you're young. Or it's always enabling you, right? I remember when I was in jail, I got very, very familiar with these 2 voices. And it was the first time in my life, because I was sober, because I was isolated, that I got keenly connected and aware of that good voice that was inside of me that had been silenced for so long. You see, I had been making decisions based on fear and doubt, pleasure seeking, wild lifestyles, like what I wanted, right, for so long. And I knew all the while I wanted to be a better version of myself. I wanted to be different. There was changes I wanted to make, but I wouldn't make them because I was listening to that other voice that was always telling me, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, you don't got to change now. And because of that, my life was getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And I had less control over a lot of things. And it was the pivotal moment when I decided to go all in to listen to that good voice and dedicate my life to that path that everything changed for me. I've never made decisions based on fear and doubt ever since, and I've seen everything progressively improve. Sobriety, health, mentality, confidence, gratitude, family, finances, career, like everything and anything you can imagine and name right now has steadily improved as I've been on this path. And it's as simple as that for you. Get clear on who you want to be. Listen to that conscience, that good voice that's calling you to make the changes, get uncomfortable, go after your dreams, and you will never fail. It might be hard, it might be challenging, you might have to pivot, you might change course a couple times, but I promise you become so successful if you just apply that one concept. Now, the second thing I want to share with you is that a long time ago, I stopped giving a fuck about what people think or say. I always tell people when I was younger, I had the fuck it attitude for all the wrong reasons. Once I decided to change my life and go down this righteous path that I've been on, that God has bestowed me upon, I stopped worrying about judgment of other people. I stopped worrying about what they thought. And I just recognized that no matter what you do, people are going to judge you. They're going to judge you for being super shredded and ripped, and they're going to say you're on steroids and that you don't enjoy life because you don't eat junk food. Or if you're fat and out of shape, they're going to judge you for being lazy. If you're super rich, you're going to be condemned because you're an evil billionaire. If you're poor, you're going to be ridiculed for having no clothes or having no house or not being able to take care of your family. So whatever you do in life, right, you're going to be judged by it. Make sure those judgments count for something. And what I mean by that is make sure you have what you want, the life that you want to create. Become the person that you're proud to see when you look in the mirror, the person that you love to be. And then those judgments, they don't matter because they're going to be there no matter what. But a long time ago, I stopped worrying about what other people are thinking or saying, and I went after my goals and my dreams. Because at the end of the day, when you're sitting on your deathbed or you're reflecting on your life, none of those judgments are going to save you. They're not going to change anything for you, right? But what will haunt you is the things you didn't do, the goals you didn't achieve, the person you didn't become, the life that you didn't create. That will torment you, and you won't be able to escape that. And there's an interesting statistic that says most people at the end of their lives, the number one thing they regret is not living the life that they actually wanted to, but they lived a life based on other people's expectations, based on what other people wanted for them. And because of that, they had immense regret. And they wish they could go back and live their lives over, but they didn't get that second chance. They didn't get that do-over. So for you right now, I want you to recognize the people closest to you, even like a spouse, family member, close friends, siblings, they might not understand what you're doing when you're making changes. But if you're going after something that's truly meaningful to you and you stay consistent over time, the people that truly love you, they're going to support you, right? You're going to win them over. You're going to prove to them by staying consistent and focused and not going back to that old version of yourself. You're going to introduce to them the new version of you, and they're going to accept that person over time. Do it for you, man. You get one life, and I'm telling you, you don't want to get to the end and have regrets based on the way you live because you were so worried about being judged by other people. That's ridiculous. The third thing I want to share with you guys is that I am delusionally optimistic. I'm so optimistic that if people were able to read my mind and entertain my thoughts on a daily basis, they would want to check me into a psych ward. Like, dude, I dream so big. I'm a dreamer, but I'm an action taker. Everything I've dreamt about to this point and envisioned, I've materialized into a reality. I've manifested the ultimate life, and I'm still honestly just getting started. But when I was in jail, I would envision being on stage, speaking in front of thousands of people. I would go through this in-depth meditation and visualization, right? Where I would just be captivating the audience. I would just be channeling that energy and that passion to them in real time. And I could see their faces in those moments. Mind you, I'm doing this in a jail cell. I'm in prison at the time. And that became a reality for me. I've done that dozens and dozens of times over, changed people's lives from stage, built my coaching business based on my message and being able to pour my heart and soul into people, right? Through messages like this, through messages on stage, through my private coaching sessions and other things, envisioning having a family and a beautiful wife who I could cherish and take care of and children that I could raise the right way. Like everything that I envisioned, coming home and building a successful business as a felon, as a guy who's facing life in prison, My business is a multiple seven-figure coaching business that I started on my own using my iPhone during COVID. And now I have 16 team members, and we have a doctor and a dietitian, and we're international. Okay. And we're literally just getting started. We'll have a 9-figure business in the next 5 years. The number one health and fitness coaching program for high-level business owners that's performance-based in the country. Guaranteed. One thing I've always done is I've dreamed big and I've had the audacity and courage and conviction to call my shot. And I'd get on social media, or I'd get on that jailhouse phone, or I'd write those letters home, or I'd tell my wife as we're lying in bed before we go to sleep, what God put on my heart and what I was going to do to bring it to reality. And I'm not scared to talk about it. Again, I don't care what people think. I'm not worried about being judged, and I never make decisions based on fear and doubt. I make decisions based on the purpose that God has put on my heart, and I have conviction and I have belief in myself because I'm putting in the work every day, right? And so you guys, what I want you to know is that the bigger you dream, the farther you go. And the only limitations on your life is the one you place on yourself. So many people don't get what they want simply because they don't believe it's possible. But if you have the ability to dream big and entertain those visions and back them up with action and live in alignment and then just delay gratification for a long period of time, like, fuck it, I don't care if it happens in 70 years. I just want to get to that point, right? You forget about the end result. Dude, that's when the magic starts to happen. And this brings me to the fourth reason why I have an edge on the world is that is because I love the work, right? So what I just shared with you is so important. You have to be delusively optimistic. You have to dream big. You have to do all those things. But dude, I truly love the work. I love getting up early. I love reading books. I love personal development. I love working out and putting my mind and my body through torture. Like I love the way I feel after because I'm not living as a weak individual. I'm strengthening myself every day. I love the sauna and the cold plunge because it's extreme and it's hard. Like 37-degree water, 200-degree sauna. Like that's hard. It's difficult. When I'm in those moments, I feel alive because I'm not comfortable and I'm not complacent. And it's a catalyst for growth. I think differently. I get creative. I just have more energy. I'm like, dude, I'm freaking alive right now. Like you're listening to a guy who used to have to do drugs to feel alive. Like what a pathetic life. Like you have to escape, right? And alter your state that way with these artificial substances to feel alive. Dude, now I'm living so purely and so authentically and in such alignment that I feel alive more than I can describe, more so than any drug could ever do for me. Like for me to do drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, even acid would be a downgrade, right? For most people to do really extreme drugs would be like a super upgrade. You get all these endorphins, you just wouldn't care about anything, you'd just have an awesome day. That's why people drink, right? Because it lowers your inhibitions and you can actually just kind of for a second feel like you have some confidence, but it's false bravado. It's not genuine. That's the difference. So for me, to do drugs would be a downgrade because I'm at such a high frequency by applying these principles and going after my dreams for the last 13 years that every second I get, I cherish, dude. I love this life. I created this life. I went all in for this life. And so like you guys, like for those of you who are parents and you see your child born for the first time, then you get to raise them. Then you get to impart your values upon them. You get to have those experiences with them. You fall in love with them over and over each and every day. You watch their little nuances, their unique personalities develop. Like you love them so much, they're yours, right? You created them. You've raised them. They're an extension of you. That's kind of like a good way to describe how I feel about the life I've been able to create in its entirety. Like I envisioned this life, I prayed for this life, and I worked my ass off to create this life. I love this life because of the blood, sweat, and tears I put into it, because of the fears I faced, the adversity I overcame, like getting up every day and going after it. When you live that way, you can't help but love and cherish what you've created. And not in a way that's like egotistical and like, hey, look at me, how cool I am. In a genuine way where you're like just so grateful to get to live another day, where you're so grateful in the morning when you wake up because you get to do what you love every day and create a lifestyle around those values, those beliefs, those passions. That's what I want for all of you guys, is a life by design. But you got to love the work in order to get there. You got to love doing the work, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to make excuses. When you're tired, when you're sick, when you're sore, when you don't feel like it, you're not going to do it. Dude, I love doing the work because the work is when I start to feel proud of myself. Every day when I go to the gym or get up early, I feel proud of myself for that. Every new book I finish, like every day when I do all the right stuff that I know I need to do to keep progressing, I still get that feeling of like, damn, Sean, you're doing it. And that feeling of feeling proud of yourself, loving yourself, it's a catalyst for success in everything you do. You'll be a more devoted husband or wife. You'll be a better parent. You'll be better in your career. You'll be better around your employees or team members. You'll just be a better version of yourself. And it's infectious for those that get around you. The fifth reason why I have an edge on the world, because I have extremely high standards, you guys. It doesn't matter if I'm doing these videos. It doesn't matter if any of you ever saw what I did ever again. I'd be lean. I'd be shredded. I'd be disciplined. I have such high standards for myself that I can't do that to me. Like I can't fucking cheat. You know what I mean? I can't just let myself coast. I can't let myself live a second as an inferior version of the man that I know I can be. You know why? because I did that for 23 years and it led to so much pain and so much regret, remorse. And I had to sit in that pain for 8 months in the county jail awaiting my fate before I ended up going to prison. And I remember every day just sitting there going, why didn't you try harder? Why didn't you give more effort? Why didn't you go after your goals? Why did you make excuses? Why did you hang out with those kids? Why did you stay drunk for 20 years? Why did you become like your dad? Like those thoughts and that truth freaking tortured me to death. And it also became the most powerful catalyst and fire that's just burning inside my heart and soul to this day to change, right? Like I took that pain and I've utilized it every day to move forward towards a meaningful life. And I still got a chip on my shoulder, and it's a good chip. It's never going away because it reminds me of how precious this life is and how important every little decision we make truly is. And that's what leads to my sixth reason for having an edge on most people in this world, right? Not everybody. I'm not like, dude, I'm not freaking better than anybody. I just care more and I try harder. And my sixth reason why I have an edge is because I'm truly grateful. And everything I just expressed to you derives from my experience going to prison and thinking that my life was over. I was this close to losing my life, and God gave me a second chance, and I was spared, man. After doing over 2,000 days in prison, I got to come home and seek redemption and live the ultimate life. And that's why I'm sober, and that's why I'm passionate, and that's why I love my family and take care of them, and that's why I'm all in on my goals and my dreams. That's why I send my kids to the best school in town, the best private school. I don't care how much money it costs. It's their lives, right? Their education, the community that they're brought up in. That's why I go all into my dreams and get my business to a level where I can not only make tons of money, but change billions of people's lives. That's the goal, right? Lofty goals, but guess what? I'm a dreamer. And in order to get to that level, you have to be delusionally optimistic, right? You have to not care what anyone thinks or says about you. You can never operate from fear and doubt, and you better love the work because the work is what builds the empire, right? But if you're getting up each and every day and you forget why you started, or you don't have that heart full of gratitude just for what you have right now, it's going to hinder you. Here's the thing. Ed Milet first said this, and I love it. Be delusionally, I'm sorry, that was what I said, blissfully dissatisfied. What that means is you're not content, like you're not going to stop growing, progressing, doing the work, evolving, but you're so freaking grateful for where you're at. And a good way to always maintain that level of gratitude in your heart is measure backwards. There's a great book called The Gap in the Gain, and I believe it's by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The gap in the gain refers to like how most people always think about where they want to go in life and what they want, and they're not there yet. So it steals their joy. It makes them feel less than. And that's such a horrible way to measure your growth or your progress. Measure backwards. Remember where you were when you started and you made the decision to lose the weight, to change your career, to get on a better path. Whatever that decision was, look how far you've come. See, I constantly do this, and that's why I talk about prison a lot, because it puts things in perspective as to where I'm at today. 4 kids later, beautiful wife later, dream home later, like the career that I get to change people's lives and live out my passion every day. That's my career. Like, dude, I am so blessed. Like, I hit the freaking lottery, man. If you look at my life now, like I told you though, I remember where I come from and I'm just getting started. Imagine, and I'm just telling you this, imagine where I'll be in 5 years if I never quit. Imagine where I'll be in 10 years if I never quit. Like, God put it on my heart to change the world. I don't just say those words lightly. That is what's on my heart. That's why I'm building a coaching program that can change men's lives, get them sober, get them fit, help them to build the right habits, help them to be a better husband, a better father. Like, I love seeing my guys change their lives and take control because there's a ripple effect that spreads into everything that they do. Now we're not just changing one life, we're changing 10 by impacting one individual, right? And so I feel so blessed, you guys. I feel so blessed. The key is to be blissfully dissatisfied, like I said, meaning you're so grateful for where you're at and how far you've come, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get up early tomorrow and do the work because you love the work, right? That's successful people, entrepreneurs, business owners, the people that you see that reach the top, they love the work. Like for me, I don't work out because I want to just be fit. I love working out. I love pushing weight. I love getting my heart rate up. I love just pushing through something difficult every day to start the day. Like I truly love that. And like I said earlier, I would be doing this every day, even if there was like 6 people on the planet. No one ever saw me. In fact, I did this for 5.5 years in prison when I didn't have a phone, when I didn't have social media, when I didn't have a business, before I had my family. No coach around to tell me what to do, no oversight. It was me versus me every day in that cell. Are you going to get up, Sean, and do the work? Are you going to do your push-ups, your burpees? Are you going to read your book? Are you going to study? Are you going to take your college courses? Like, it was up to me. And that was so good for me to be in that situation because I developed a level of commitment and discipline. And like I told you, those standards about who I want to be that have been ingrained into my consciousness, man, my psyche. It's a core belief that I live by. So you guys, I want you to live the ultimate life, man. And if you can apply one of those traits that I just shared with you, one of those characteristics, you'll have an edge on the world. If you can apply all six, you'll be unstoppable. And that's what I want for you. So do me a favor. Comment below. Let me know how this video impacted you. What are you working on in your life? What are your goals? I want to hear from you guys. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, all right?